Good evening. Are we ready for some football? Okay. I see y'all ready. Good afternoon, and I'm glad to see all of you here today, this afternoon. Okay, here we go again. Thank you all for being here this evening, and we're going to follow our agenda. So right now, please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Right now, I will get approval of the meeting agenda, which is the revised minutes. Excuse me, the minutes from August 14th, and they have been revised, and they're in your folder. So can I get approval for the minutes from August 14th?
I move that the minutes, revised minutes for August 14th be approved.
Okay, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand.
Second.
Okay. Good job, you got a bunch of seconds. You get all of those, Ms. Steve? Okay. All right, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand. Okay. Approval of the meeting agenda. Those, do we have any agendas?
Yes, Madam Chair, revised agenda including personnel addenda and revised student transfers and releases.
So can I get approval of the meeting agenda with those additions?
Make a motion to approve the meeting, September 11th meeting agenda with the agenda.
Can I get a second? Okay, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand. Okay, recognitions and announcements, Dr. James.
Madam Chair, if you join me around the front, we have several groups we would like to recognize this evening. And we'll begin with Ms. Adams, started by Dr. Adams Marcia, and instructional technologist recognition.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, board members, Dr. Cindy Bennett, and many distinguished guests here tonight. I have the pleasure of introducing the IT Professionals Day, which is a special occasion celebrated on the third Tuesday of September of each year. It honors the dedication and expertise of individuals who work in the field of information technology. In our school system, IT Professionals Day serves as an opportunity to recognize and thank the dedicated technology experts who support and enhance the educational experience. These professionals manage school networks, ensure student access to digital resources, and provide technical support to students, teachers, and staff. It is a day to acknowledge their vital contributions to modern education and the instructional process. At this time, I'd like to recognize Ms. Lori Askew. Jolene Harris. Ms. Celestine Wilkerson. do not see Ms. Haley Moore, Andrew Holtzman, Jose Martinez, Sheldon Anderson, here are Mr. Roderick Lewis and Mr. Todd Sullivan.
And Marcia also recognizing you for the work that you and your team do. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do every day. We are able to accomplish a lot of the things we do in the district because of this team. You think of more than 5,000 students and around 1,000 staff computers, not counting the other devices that we have around that keep us running. We appreciate it. We really do. Our next group we would like to recognize our human resource staff and recognition of Human Resource Professional Day during this month. Dr. Caraway?
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Bennett. September 26th is Human Resources Professional Day. It is an honor to recognize Vance County Schools Human Resources team. This team works hard every day to ensure that they provide excellent customer services to everyone. At this time, when I call your name, please come forward. Elizabeth Gray. Denise Robertson. Debbie Stevenson. Stuart Hayes. Leanne Twisdale. Ed Watson.
Dr. Caraway as well as this powerful team, another powerful team. They make sure that our vacancies are posted, our staff are hired, that the onboarding process and all of the other essential things that people need to do once they become a member of this family are accomplished. And so we thank them as well for what they do every day. Thank you. Another group we would like to recognize this evening, although we did not invite all of them here. During this month, we also celebrate National Teaching Assistants Day. And Dr. Ross Putney would like to share a few words about this powerful group of staff members.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Bennett. National Teaching Assistants Day will take place on Friday, September 29th, as the day dedicated to honoring the contribution of teaching assistants in schools throughout the country. This evening, I wish to recognize all of the dedicated teacher assistants in Vance County Schools for the essential role that they play in supporting teachers, facilitating student learning, and contributing to the district's overall success. Every day, our TAs make a significant difference in the lives of our students, and we are profoundly grateful for their contributions and celebrate them not just this month, but every day. So be sure to thank a teacher assistants on September 29th, but continue to appreciate them on a daily basis. Thank you.
Who support students, who support teachers. Many of them also support with transportation of our students. So again, very, very vital group. Next, we'd like to recognize Ms. Kim Mesa, and as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Bennett. Hispanic Heritage Month takes place September 15th through October 15th every year as a time to recognize and celebrate the many contributions, diverse cultures, and extensive histories of the American Latino community. 3 important facts about Hispanic Heritage Month. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week and was extended by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period, hence the September 15th to October 15th period, and then was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988. This year's theme is Latinos driving prosperity, power, and progress. And this year's winning poster is Todos somos, somos uno. We are all, we are one. We have, during the next few weeks, our Hispanic teachers, who I'm going to invite up in just a few minutes, will be sharing along with their students their diverse culture through dance, music, food, art, language, and history. And we invite you also to share in this cultural celebration. If you'll follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you'll have more information about when these events are taking place. And my ESL team, they formed a dance group called El Cumbion de ESL de Dance, and they will be performing in the schools and out in the community during Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'd just like to invite them to come up to introduce themselves, let you know what country they're from, and if there's something special they want to say about their country.
Hello, I'm Delis Mora. I'm from Colombia, and something special about my country, I think is evident just because I wear this shirt. This jersey. Crazy about soccer.
Hi, my name is Edna Celis. I'm teaching right now in STEM, Harvard, and Advanced Academy. Well, I am from Colombia. Today you are going to see I'm going to give you one small doll with a typical costume from Colombia. So, if you can see us, like we are going to make like a dance, as Ms. Mesa said. We have a dance group, and we are going to show about our culture and about our music. Thank you. Hello, my name is Liliana Soto. I'm the ESL teacher at ACOC Elementary and also the Free School. And this is my 7th year here. I'm from Colombia too. And I'm very pleased to share my culture and also try to motivate our students to celebrate their diversity. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Karen Suarez. I am from Colombia. I was born in a place that is well recognized as the delicious coffee that you drink every morning. The name is Quindío, and I'm very proud of that place because it's the place where I was born.
Hi, my name is Ana Lavina. I am the ESL teacher at Clark Elementary School, Ioyon, and V3. I'm very proud to say that I'm from Colombia, from Barranquilla, Colombia. Barranquilla is a city in the northern coast of Colombia. We are Caribbean. That's something I like to say. Yes, I'm Caribbean. And one thing that we can say about Colombia is that we are the second biodiverse country in the world. There are more than 365 fruits in Colombia. You have one fruit for every day. You have more than 2,000 species of birds in Colombia. And also you have Barranquilla's Carnival. You have to come one day and enjoy it because it's something that once you live it, you don't want to miss it anymore. Quien lo vive, quien lo goza.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shirley Ortiz. I am the ESL Family Liaison. I am Vance County proud, born and raised. However, I'm also very proud to be Mexican American. My parents are from the beautiful state of Michoacán, Mexico, which is very well known for La Danza de los Viejitos, which is the dance of the old people, and also for their amazing food
and their diverse landscapes. So very proud to be represented. ESOP, but definitely honorary members, Mr. Martinez and Mr. Ortega, I would just like to ask them to come up and tell us where they're from and join us up at the front. And that candy you're passing out is delicious. I hope y'all enjoy it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jose Martinez. I used to work with the ESL department, now I work with the IT department. I'm loving it. That's kind of proud. Not that I did not love. Let's be clear about that. But yes, that's kind of proud and I'm here to serve.
Good evening, my name is Eduardo Ortega and I'm from Denmark. I'm just kidding. I'm also from Colombia and I was ESL teacher some years ago. And I've been in the US for 18, I think it is. 19, I think, yeah. I'm getting old, that's what it is. And I'm so proud of not only being Colombia, but also having formed relationships, long-lasting relationships here in the US, and, you know, proud of showing who I am and what I can do now as the principal of Denver High School. Thank you.
And follow us as our dance group begins celebrating.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mason, and to all of you. How blessed are we as a school district and a community to have such wonderful people from such beautiful places in the world. Thank you for sharing your culture with us. Thank you. And our last recognition for this evening, National Arts and Education Week. Mr. Markoff?
Thank you, Dr. Bennett, Madam Chair and Board. Since 2010, the week starting with the second Sunday in September has been Arts and Education Week, not only nationally, but in the state of North Carolina. We all know what the arts do for our children. It makes them better people. And it's been magnified since COVID has followed. It's reignited learning. It's improved SEL and the social and emotional well-being of all of our kids. It reaches them on a different level. So many of our kids today, being that many of them understand digital controllers in a different way, we're teaching a class of right-brain students. We reach them through music, art, theater, music production, which we're now teaching in the Vance County schools. We reach them at that level. If we're not giving them that, we're failing to reach them. Vance County has made it a commitment that we're going to reach them at that level. And for the past several years, Vance County has been one of about 10 school districts in the state to assign the Arts Our Education Pledge, which has been put out by the state of North Carolina, to say that they're going to continue to be committed regardless of any staffing issues, regardless of any pushback, to be committed to giving our kids the arts, music, art, media arts, theater, dance. Admit it, you all smiled when you heard ESL group is going to be dancing around the community. You can't help, our kids can't help it either. It makes them better people. It also makes them better students. It's no secret that we're growing. This is one of the reasons why I thank the board for continuing to be committed to being pledged to the arts in our county and being committed to our students in that way. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mr. Markoff. We certainly your dedication commitment to the arts and helping us to ensure that all of our students have access to these wonderful opportunities and experiences. I'd also like to say we have wonderful community partners, some of which are actually offering free dance classes and free music classes to our students. All they have to do is show up. So we're
20
very,
students at Ballard Arts this year as opposed to 3 last year. We had
Yes.
20 students signed up. And if it's not in your calendar, Arts Live is March 16th.
Thank you, Mrs. Barker.
You knew I wasn't going to read her about that.
Thank you so much. That concludes our recognition.
Okay. We don't have any comments from the public, and we'll move right along into the superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We'll begin with the fiscal oversight monthly report, Mr. Super.
Good evening. The accounts have been reconciled through July. At this current time, there's still no state budget, and staff will continue to be paid at the same amounts as the 22-23 levels until the budget is passed. And in September, qualifying staff will receive the first half of their retention bonus. Thank you.
And Mr. Super, the second thing, the North Carolina School Board Association is requesting delegates from our district. So we would like to offer the selection of those delegates at this time. And the meeting will be held on Monday, November 13th at the Sheraton in Greensboro at the beginning of the conference.
Okay, let's see, what members have signed up this, how many, 5, 6, let's see, 5. Okay, well, I'll start naming. Mr. Perry. Ms. Paul. Ms. Oxendine. And Mrs. Gooch. I will be the alternate. Okay, and I think we need to
Make a motion
vote
to
on it
approve those names as presented.
and get a second. Any discussion, Ms. Paul? No. Okay. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, raise your right hand. All righty.
The last thing on the superintendent's report, just a brief recap of the opening of all of our schools. Of course, our early start schools have been in for a while. And now, of course, we have all 16 of our schools up and running. We currently have 5,250 students enrolled. That's inclusive of our pre-K. We're running around 271, 275 pre-K students. So we're excited about that. It's a little, there's been a little increase in our enrollment. We have around 12 teaching vacancies at this time, which is significantly lower than many of our surrounding districts and districts across the state. Even hearing about vacancies today at a meeting in Raleigh, some are running 50, 60 teaching vacancies. So while we hope to fill those 12 vacancies, we are in much better shape. Our average daily attendance of our students is between 87 and 90%. That's a big focus for us this year, trying to encourage our students to come on a more regular basis, trying to make sure that learning is engaging for them so that they see the need to be present. Our schools will be hosting a parent engagement nights coming up, and we are excited about that. We hope to have high turnouts in our buildings. We also had a virtual parent night for Title I last week. And if I may end with, we talked about ball and football and our Viper team. Dr. Real, would you give us the ratings now? Where are you as far as wins and losses?
So I bought some food.
Yes, that is absolutely fine. I want you to share the good news.
So
Right. Okay. Yep, about right. We got it.
So our varsity is currently 4-0, with the win over Northern Durham last week, 35-0. Currently 3-0 with the win over Orange.
So especially by for football. Yes, ma'am. Okay, one last thing I will say, Friday night, we'll be hosting Southern Durham at home. And then September 22nd, homecoming game. Please join us there. A lot of fun activities. I'm sure have noticed on social media, the roll calls for the different classes, trying to get lots of folks there. And there will even be a little tailgating going on. So we're excited about a lot of great things to take place, not only on the athletic fields, but great things are taking place in the classrooms. And our principals, I think you, if you would stand, if you're one of our current principals, please. Realize the hard work that we have to do. We know as a district and as a state, our data was released. It isn't where we want it to be, but we do have some bright spots. And if I may, I would like to ask the 3 principals whose schools improved a letter grade. That's significant this year. If you would please continue standing. If the rest of you, you're welcome to have a seat now. But I want to especially thank Ms. Fields at New Hope. And for the rest of you, we thank you as well. And next year, when we talk about increasing in letter grades, I expect to see 16. What do you think?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Rick, are we gonna have fireworks?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're gonna have fireworks. So, won't have to wait until when, I don't know when the holiday come along, but anyway, you can get some early. So right now, we're gonna move on into, personnel. The personnel committee met on September 5th. We talked about the projected, vacancies, the SS, system. And so we started out this year, as I've said before, and hopefully, we can keep some of the absences, down and keep the teachers in the classroom. Also, I think that's about it. And other than that, we did look at the, personnel, summary. And right now, I would like to make a motion that we approve the personnel recommendations along with the addendum. That is my motion. May I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. Next, finance. You ready, Mr. Susan?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. The Finance Committee met on August 23rd, and Ms. White called the meeting to order at 12 o'clock. For Center for Innovation and Reliable Control System for HVAC, a reliable control system will be installed at CFI to allow more functionality, and the same as the new systems being installed at other sites throughout the district. Government Services will install the system for $157,656 for ESSER funding. Being no further discussion, Ms. Cobb motioned and Ms. White seconded to take the HVAC control upgrade for CFI to the full board for approval.
Okay, let's call, we get a motion so we can, motion to approve the, HVAC control upgrade.
I make a motion that we approve the HVAC control upgrade for the Center of Innovation.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand.
10 elementary school sites will soon have outdoor learning environments with concrete pads under the shelters. Also installed will be sidewalks to connect the slabs to existing sidewalks. Carolina Recreation and Design will provide the work for $60,370.40 for 10 slabs and an allowance of $80,000 for sidewalk connections to be used. ESSER funding will be used for this. Being no further discussion, Ms. Cobb motioned and Ms. White seconded to take the funding of 10 slabs and sidewalks for the elementary schools to the full board for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion we approve. Second.
Okay, second. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. And I just want to ask, just raise your hand, one of the principals, if you're at one of the schools that this work has already started. So we have two. All right, thank you.
Under other financial items, surplus declaration. Provided is a list of 27 smart tables that are no longer in use for the district. The smart tables were used in pre-K and kindergarten classrooms. In order to sell, dispose, or alter the use of the items, the board must declare them surplus. Being no further discussion, Ms. Cobb motioned and Ms. White seconded to take the 27 smart tables as surplus to the full board for approval.
I make a motion that, we actually surplus the itemized list of technology equipment. Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand.
And finally, under informational items, the NC Title I application was provided for information only. Vance County High School parking permit fee. Ms. White asked if there was a way to end or reduce the parking fee for high school students. It is suggested that students will pay $5 per school year and $5 for a replacement pass if needed, starting in July 2024. This topic was tabled until January 2024 Finance Committee. The next meeting is September 27th, and the meeting adjourned at 12:25.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Suter.
Ms. White, could I inject, I'd like to thank Mr. Suter and Mr. Purdue. Looking around at the other counties, the HVAC systems are going out and they're having to send students home, and ours is doing great, not going good. Thank you.
Yes. All right, Ms. Hartness, we're moving on to building and grounds.
Okay, thank you. We met on Thursday, August 24th. Meeting was called to order at 8:30. Mr. Purdue informed the committee that summer cleaning had been completed and everything was ready, I'm sure, for open house and for the first day of school. We have some projects that are in motion right now. We report the committee that the HVAC project at Carver, LB Yancey, and Kingston Street will be completed in the next 60 days. Shelters are being installed at elementary schools and will be completed in the next 60 to 90 days. Playground equipment, and we learned in our retreat that it's really not playground equipment now, but it is fitness equipment. Should start arriving in the next 60 days. And installation will begin at that time. Mr. Purdue informed the committee that routes have been completed and early start school transportation went very smoothly. Currently, the district is short 6 to 8 drivers for district bus routes, and at this time double routes are being run to transport these students. Our surplus property, the two facilities that we recently awarded through the Gov Deals auction, and that is the Eaton Johnson building and the Old Daddy School. Currently, surveys are being completed in accordance to the closing date can be for the closing of properties, and this is anticipated to be hopefully about the next couple of weeks. In your package, you have your work orders. The next meeting is scheduled for September 28th at 8:30. And meeting, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you. On, I say policy, did not meet And the next meeting is when for policy?
September 27th, I think.
Okay, y'all show up. They'll bring some people and they'll meet with you. Alrighty, let's move on to curriculum.
The curriculum committee met on August 24th at 9:30. Gloria White, Dorothy Gooch, and myself, David Wilson, were present. Under professional development, Dr. Putney Shadley, Ross Putney Shadley, report on district-wide PD events at the start of the school year. Total participation for the early start calendar school event was 111. Total participants for the BCS new employee PD event was 67, and total number of PD sessions for the traditional school was 62 in the breakout session. Positive feedback has been received on new Powell School professional development platform. Pre-K enrollment. There's a total of 227 pre-K students enrolled, with a few schools being at full capacity. Our pre-K sites will undergo the STAR rated license evaluation by DPI this year. We're strengthening our pre-K instructional program with the use of letters and teaching strategies with fidelity. Under K2 report cards, new K2 report cards will be generated in ProTeacher Pro, Power Teacher Pro. These report cards use standard-based academic measures and behavior indicators. Support resources parents will be available regarding the new K2 report cards. Technology, trusted learning environment. As Marsha Abbott presented the new process to submit instructional resources for review. Multiple departments will review the request to determine the connectivity and devices needed, and to determine if there are instructional resources being used already in the district that meets the needs. Device deployment. Deployment schedule shared for early start, traditional and year-round calendar school. It was reported that 85 to 90% of fifth graders returned their devices. Principals completed a survey to indicate their preferred times for device deployment if they needed assistance from technology department. To date, only 3 schools reported that they needed assistance with deployment. Dr. Bennett stated that every school has a plan to provide services for the media center for the student. The meeting was adjourned at 9:50 a.m. The next meeting is 28 September at 9:30 a.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, community relations. Ms. Burch.
Community and Business Relations Committee met September. The Community and Business Relations Committee met September the 5th, and Ms. Sanders shared a lot of information with us, and she's going to briefly share some information with us again.
Thank you. We did share out quite a bit of information during the month of August, including volunteer information. We utilized radio commercials, our billboard, as well as the newspaper, social media, and our website. In August, we ended up covering about 15 events that ranged from several of our recognition events, football games, first day of school, and professional development days. Looking ahead, we have already about 10 events on the calendar for September that we'll be covering. And then press releases continue to go out to our newspaper and to WICS. We did host 2 staff trainings through the communications and technology team. And we continue to monitor our insights and analytics, which are increasing dramatically, which is great news. And our next meeting is October 3rd.
I also noticed that Mr. Oxendine, he inquired about whether school had PTOs or PTAs. So just asking if any of our schools currently have any of those organizations. If you do, raise your hand. Oh, yes, if I had a prize, I'd give it to you, but I don't. So stand up, let me see who you are.
Yes. Early college, we have a PTO, we're having our recruitment meeting tomorrow during that parent engagement.
Very, very, very good. And, Mr. Oxendine, you want to say something about that to urge them?
I couldn't look at the, so I better not say anything.
But, I don't know that this kind of dwindled out and I don't know why. But, I'll just say, I would like to see him and I'll just say, he said he's not gonna say anything, but he feels very strongly about that. And he wishes that, maybe at some point in time that we can get some of that, started again, okay? How's that, Mr. Hoffenbauer? All right, we're moving right along, we don't have any new business, no overnight, field trips. We do have, out of county, transfers and releases.
Make a motion to accept the out-of-county transfers with the revised edition.
Okay. It's made
Second
up.
motion.
Okay, second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. All righty. I think we've come to the end of the road, and again, I want to thank you all for coming. And come again next month. We meet the second Monday of each month at 6:00 p.m. Thanks again and have a good evening. Right now, I would like to make a motion that we go into closed session pursuant to provisions of NCGS 143-318.11 for purposes of discussing legal, personnel, and property issues. That is my motion. Okay. All those in favor, do so by raising your right hand. All right, thanks again.